All right. Want to feel safe, like really safe.
Always a good idea.
Today, we're doing a deep dive into a career that's all about safety, but not just any safety.
Nope.
We're talking construction safety manager.
There you go.
And let me tell you, the info you guys sent over, it's a stack.
Yeah.
Clearly hit a nerve.
Definitely a hot topic. And for good reason, it's a job most people don't think twice about. But it's essential on any construction site.
Absolutely. We're talking lives on the line every single day.
Exactly. Couldn't be more serious.
So we've got RoleCatcher's guide here, and it's pretty intense, honestly.
It is. Really makes you appreciate what these folks do.
Where do we even begin with this one?
Well, I think it's helpful to break it down into stages, right? Like RoleCatcher does.
Okay, yeah. They've got entry level,
Mm.
junior manager, senior manager.
Right, so you work your way up just like, well,
Like building a skyscraper.
haha, exactly. And you need that solid foundation. Those entry-level roles, they're all about the essentials. Site inspections, making sure everyone got the right gear, safety training, that kind of thing.
Right. But it's not just like checking boxes, is it?
Oh, absolutely not.
The functions and core ability section, that's where things get interesting. They list reading comprehension, critical thinking, even psychology.
Which makes sense when you really think about it.
Yeah. How so?
Construction site, it's a fast-paced environment, right? High pressure, lots of moving parts, and personalities.
Sure.
So a good safety manager, they've got to be able to analyze technical documents, make split-second decisions when things go wrong, and they got to understand team dynamics to prevent accidents before they even happen.
Wow. So you're not just enforcing rules, you're like a detective, a psychologist.
Kind of, yeah.
Right.
A lot more to it than people realize.
And then there's the whole leadership aspect, which RoleCatcher stresses as super important.
Absolutely. Got to command respect. And not just because you're wearing a safety vest, you need that knowledge and experience to back it up.
And let's be real, the con section, they don't sugarcoat it.
Not at all.
Long hours, high stress, and you're in a potentially dangerous environment every day.
It's not for everyone, that's for sure. You got to have a certain personality to thrive in that kind of setting.
But then you read through the profiles RoleCatcher provides, and you see the sense of reward. These folks are preventing accidents, potentially saving lives.
Yeah, knowing you have that kind of impact, sending people home safe to their families every day, that's huge.
It's huge, absolutely. Now, speaking of things changing, RoleCatcher also talks about how technology is changing the game.
Oh, big time.
It's not all clipboards and yelling at people to wear hard hats anymore.
No way. Those days are fading fast. We're talking drones for inspections now, software that uses AI to spot hazards. It's pretty wild.
That's amazing.
It really is.
So it seems like a career where you never stop learning. Even the senior manager profile, they talk about always updating your skills.
Oh, for sure. The construction industry is constantly changing. New materials, building techniques, safety regulations, you name it.
So a construction safety manager's job, it's never really done then.
I guess that's part of the appeal. It's challenging, always something new to learn.
Okay, so for someone listening who's thinking, hey, this sounds like me, this sounds like something I could do,
Yeah.
what are some concrete steps they can take to like get their foot in the door?
Well, RoleCatcher actually highlights some great starting points. Internships, those are fantastic. Volunteering for safety organizations shows you're passionate.
What about shadowing?
Shadowing a construction safety manager.
Yeah, is that worthwhile?
Absolutely seeing it in action, how a seasoned pro handles things day to day,
Yeah.
that's invaluable.
It's one thing to read about it.
Exactly. Totally different ballgame when you're out there on the site.
So it's all about taking initiative, being proactive.
That's what it takes to succeed in this field, for sure.
And we're back, digging deeper into the world of construction safety managers and RoleCatcher. Before we jumped away, we were talking about how RoleCatcher isn't just about getting that job. It's like they're with you the whole way.
It's true. That's what makes it stand out. They're not just throwing you in the deep end and saying good luck. They're right there with you as you climb that career ladder.
It's about growing and getting better all the time, right?
Absolutely got to stay ahead of the curve, especially in a field that's always changing like construction.
So how does RoleCatcher help with that? You find a job, great, but then what?
Well, remember that huge library of career guides they have? Thousands of them. They're not just for looking at different jobs. They actually tell you what skills you need, what you need to know to do those jobs well.
Oh, I see. So you might find out you need to learn something new, something you didn't even realize was important.
Exactly. Like, say you're thinking about sustainable building, right? Super hot right now. You dig into the guides, and bam, you realize data analysis is becoming crucial in that field.
So it's not just about designing eco-friendly buildings.
Yeah.
You got to crunch the numbers too.
Yep. Energy performance data, material sourcing, all that. You got to back it up with hard data.
So where do you even begin if you realize you're missing some of those skills?
Well, RoleCatcher thought of that too. They've partnered with online learning platforms. It's all right there.
Wait, you can take courses through RoleCatcher?
Yep, right on their site. Project management software, green building certifications, even stuff like communication and leadership.
So no matter where you are in your career, just starting out or been doing this for years, they've got you covered.
Exactly. It's all about taking charge, right? You're not just along for the ride, you're in the driver's seat of your own career.
I like that. Okay, but with all this AI and algorithms, does it ever feel, I don't know, impersonal?
I get it, you'd think so, right? But they've actually got stuff built in to make sure you don't feel like just another number.
Like what? Give me an example.
Mentorship, for one. They have a whole section where they connect people with mentors in their field.
So you can talk to someone who's been there, done that?
Exactly. Get advice, guidance, all that. And it's not just one way. Experienced pros are encouraged to be mentors too. They get it. Sharing knowledge is important, building that community feeling.
I like that. Paying it forward.
Exactly. And then they've got this online forum too, really active.
What, like a message board?
Kinda, but more than that. Job seekers, professionals, everyone sharing experiences, asking for advice, celebrating wins.
Like a virtual support group for your career.
Exactly. Because let's face it, job hunting can be tough.
The struggle is real.
It is. So having that community, knowing you're not alone, makes a huge difference.
Makes sense. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the good stuff, but is there anything users should watch out for? Any downsides?
That's a good question. I mean, it's not perfect, right?
There's no such thing as perfect, unfortunately.
Exactly. The biggest thing to remember is that RoleCatcher gives you amazing tools, but they're just tools. It's not magic.
So you can't just sign up and expect a dream job to fall in your lap.
Haha. No, not quite. You still got to put in the work, network, all that.
Right. Polish up that resume.
Exactly. But RoleCatcher helps you do it smarter, more effectively.
Efficiency is key. Okay, what else?
Well, and this is true for anything tech-related these days. It's constantly changing, you know.
New updates, new features.
Exactly. Got to be ready to adapt, learn the new ropes. They do have tutorials and stuff, though.
So they're not just leaving you hanging.
Definitely not. Oh, and one last thing I just thought of. They do a great job with accuracy, but it is still a machine learning system at its core.
Meaning?
Sometimes there might be a glitch, you know, or the algorithm might not get it quite right.
So common sense is still your best friend.
Always, always. Don't just blindly follow the computer. Trust your gut. Do your own research.
Sound advice. Okay, this has been super interesting. We've covered a lot. The challenges for construction safety managers, how technology is changing things up.
It really makes you think about the future of work, doesn't it?
It does, big time. And speaking of the future, there's one more thing about RoleCatcher I want to get into.
Okay, what's that?
This whole digital brand thing.
Ah, yes, that's important.
But we'll have to dive into that after a quick break. Stay with us. We're back. And you know those hard hats we told you to grab? Turns out you need one in the digital world too.
It's true. Your online presence, it's like your digital hard hat. Got to protect yourself, present yourself in the best light.
And that's where this whole digital brand thing comes in, right? RoleCatcher talks about it a lot.
They do, and it's crucial, especially these days. It's not enough to just be good at what you do. Got to be visible too.
So it's like, how do people find you online? What do they see when they Google you?
Exactly. First impressions matter, even in the digital world.
So how does RoleCatcher help with that?
Well, they give you the tools to shape that narrative. Think of it like building your professional website, but way easier.
Okay, I like easy.
It's all about taking control, right? You decide what people see when they find you on RoleCatcher.
Makes sense. So it's like your online resume, but better.
Exactly. It goes beyond just bullet points and dates.
How so?
Well, you can showcase projects you're proud of, link to articles, blog posts, anything that shows off your expertise, even highlight volunteer work, stuff you're passionate about outside of work.
It's like showing your personality, right?
Yeah, exactly. And RoleCatcher makes it easy. They have tools to make your profile pop, you know, embed videos, presentations, even get creative with the design.
Fancy.
It's all about standing out from the crowd.
And I bet employers are searching for candidates on there too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Think of it like this. You've got your amazing profile all set up. An employer searches for someone with your skills, boom, you pop up. Even if you weren't actively looking, that opportunity found you.
Okay, now that's impressive. But it's not just about employers finding you, right? There's a whole networking aspect too.
Oh, huge. You can connect with other professionals on RoleCatcher, people in your field, people you can learn from. They've got industry groups, virtual events, all sorts of ways to meet people.
So kind of like a social network, but for your career.
Exactly. You can find a mentor, connect with potential colleagues, share ideas, get advice.
Okay, it's all starting to click now.
Yeah.
This is so much bigger than just a job board. It's like a whole support system for your career.
That's a great way to put it. And that's what makes RoleCatcher so cool. They get it. It's not just about getting a job. It's about building a career you love, finding that thing you're passionate about, and making it happen.
I love that. So we've explored a lot about what RoleCatcher offers for job seekers, for employers. Honestly, they seem to have thought of everything,
They really do. And the best part is they're constantly evolving, adding new features, staying ahead of the curve.
which, as you said earlier, is crucial in this ever-changing job market.
Absolutely. And that's something to remember no matter what tools you use, what platforms you explore. You gotta stay curious, stay adaptable, never stop learning.
That's the real secret sauce, isn't it?
It is a willingness to learn, to grow, to step outside your comfort zone.
Couldn't agree more. And on that note, we're going to have to wrap up this deep dive into the world of construction safety managers and the incredible resource that is RoleCatcher.
It's been a pleasure joining you. Always fascinating to dig into these topics.
Likewise. And to everyone listening, thanks for coming along for the ride. We hope this has inspired you to take charge of your career journey, whatever that may look like for you. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep building an amazing career.